I just finished a series of interviews in the Middle East. Unfortunately, those news networks are censored here in my country, in the United States, but I want to share a few impressions of what we've seen with Iran's retaliation for the horrific, tragic bombing of their embassy in Damascus, where 7 of their diplomats were murdered. Of course, the West barely mentions that. They always decontextualize Israeli violence, whether it's in the West Bank, whether it's against Syria, whether it's against Iran, whether it's against Lebanon. We know that Israel has for how long functioned as a gigantic colonial battling ram for the U.S., for the Western powers in the Middle East. We have to recognize that. Let's remember colonialism in Africa, and colonialism wherever it rears its ugly head. Colonialism depends on divide and conquer strategies. That's why they have a sellout regime like the Jordanian regime, like the Saudi regime. Why would the Jordanians volunteer? Jordan has millions and millions of Jordanians who are of Palestinian descent. So hopefully we'll see a revolution. Sure enough, in Jordan. Another important point: the Israelis, Haaretz, and the rest of the Israeli mainstream media, they're never going to show you the actual damage done to Tel Aviv, to different military bases. That's part of their colonial mentality. They try to show themselves to be invincible. That is a bold-faced lie. What can we expect in the upcoming days as this plays out between the axis of Geno and the axis of resistance? And that's why Israel and the U.S. always strike into Syria and strike into Iraq. That's why they killed General Soleimani. That's why they bombed Tehran on the anniversary of Soleimani's assassination. They're extremely afraid of the axis of resistance coordinating their united Arab, Iran efforts, patriotic efforts, anti-colonial efforts. Again, we have to continue to repeat, this has nothing to do with religion. This is a colonial question. One of the most important things we can do as the U.S. and Israel seek to Iraq-ize and Libya-ize and Syria-ize and Yemen-ize and Palestinian-ize Iran. What I mean by that is they're going to try to inflict as much damage on the infrastructure of Iran. We have to remember that Iran has been subjected to a 44-year war, a hybrid war, an economic war. They've used hunger and sanctions as a weapon against the almost 100 million people of Iran. Iran is a vast nation with an incredibly historic and heroic culture and civilization. The Iranian people are not our enemy. In the upcoming days, the most important thing we can do here in New York City and across the world, and we call upon people of consciousness within the Zionist entity, come into the streets, protest what imperialism, what the West is going to try to do now to Iran could be horrific. That's what they're promising to do. How do we go into all-out anti-war, anti-imperialist mode? That's what our sisters and brothers in Iran who obviously are not didn't sleep tonight, and when are they going to be able to sleep? We fear what the next 24 to 48 hours could bring for our sisters and brothers in Iran. So maximum attention, all eyes on Iran, peace-loving people of the world. How can we stop what is sure to be an extremely asymmetrical, disproportionate response? Because again, we're talking about a genocidal Goliath against David. David struck tonight. We don't know exactly how strong that impact was, but Goliath is going to strike tomorrow.